Hey y'all,
Hey,
welcome back. Girl, Glow in Hell, get your merch. We'll talk about that.
I'm so excited. We have not done this in some time.
Yes, we missed y'all. I missed you, friend.
I know. I missed you too. It's different, catching up like, hey, how you doing? Let's catch up on phone. Now this is
Right,
different.
right. And by the way, friend, this is a microphone. I don't know if you thought it was something else, but it's a whole microphone. Just wanted the people to know because I'm hoeing, healing over everything in a
I'm
good
like,
way.
oh, but what? Okay.
Listen, just saying. Sometimes we gotta let each other know. I'm just saying. But yes, it has
Sorry,
been such a
part.
long time. Life has been lifing, but I'm so excited to be back in this space with you. We are in
Yeah.
June. Honey, we are in Men's Mental Health Month. We are in Juneteenth. We are in Father's Day.
We my daddy's birthday week. Yeah.
Listen, June, beginning of summer is come.
Megan the
Listen.
Stallion is outside. Like, yes, I know summer.
This is great. So, first of all, let's wish all of our Grow, Glow, and Hold dads out there a happy Father's Day. Praying that whatever you do, and you do not have to be with your kids, okay? Whoever gave that lie that you have to spend Father's Day with your children, no. You do whatever you want to do, sir. Good sir,
Yeah.
young men, whatever it is that your heart desires
Zaddies.
on Father's Zaddy, whatever you want to do on Father's Day, it is your day. You've earned it. We appreciate our fathers, our men that step up, our stepfathers, our uncles, our
Baby
godfathers,
daddies. Yes. All
coaches, the
you.
mentors. You all
Mm-hmm.
deserve to celebrate how you
Sugar
want.
daddies.
So,
All you.
I mean, it's a father, it's a dad. But yes,
We love you
I
too,
got
boo.
me spilling water on sugar daddies, but okay. This is y'all's month, and because it is Men's Mental Health Month, we wanted to get on here and provide a safe space for you guys and let you all know that your Black women, your sisters, we love you, we appreciate you, we're here for you. So let's go, friend. How do we create these safe spaces and soft landing for our Black men, especially? I mean, it is Men's Mental Health Month, but let's be clear, our brothers need us. So,
Yes.
this is geared for the brothers. All men, we inclusive here at GG and H, but
Yes.
we're going to always circle it back to home, the kings of our castle,
You know what? I don't even. Let's see. Calm down, Nickeya. You're like super excited. Okay. Because what if a young or older, mature Black man land on one of these links, these posts, this video, and they're like, who's GGNH? What y'all do? Do you want to tell them so they know that how this became a safe Black space?
Yes, and I hope our listeners who are men are already sharing with their friends, but yes. So GG and H, Grow, Glow, and Ho, Heal Over Everything, was created last year through our conversations. And Nickeya's iPhone kept hating on her when she would try to put its Grow, Glow, and Go season, and it would hate on her and autocorrect to Ho. So we decided to take the negative connotation away from Ho and make it something positive. So here we are, Grow, Glow, and Ho, Heal Over Everything podcast. As you see, we've got merch, we've got episodes, we have a lot of exciting things coming for you guys. We're going to have events. But yes, brothers, you too can be a Ho over everything type of dude. And in order to heal, you need safe spaces, and that safe space should start at home, whether it's in your home or just in your family. You all need safe spaces too. We have our sister circles and girlfriend circles and book clubs and all the things.
Yes, our brunches.
Brunches that I don't know if men do, because I rarely will see a whole table full of men sitting at a brunch.
Oh, avoiding women, like.
But y'all need to make a brunch. Y'all need to have a brothers brunch, because let me tell you, brunch is therapeutic. Okay, y'all need a brothers brunch.
Hennessy shots on me, like period. Okay, I digress. I'm sorry. but for y'all.
So yes, y'all need a safe space. So, hopefully Grow, Glow, and Hold can provide you a safe space within our time together today. And we just want y'all to be vulnerable. We want y'all to be able to be your authentic selves, whatever that looks like. We want to give you a nag-free environment. Because we have things we can nag about, but that's not what this is for. This is y'all's month. So we want to take care of your mental health, and we want you guys to feel appreciated. So, for me, creating a safe space, for the Black men, the men, period, but the Black men in my life, is to create an environment where they can feel free of judgment, where they can be vulnerable. And I have to sneeze. The devil is a lie. It's a whole lie. But where they can be vulnerable, where they can be. Because this is on YouTube. So don't get canceled.
Go ahead, pray.
But basically, creating open, honest communication. Talk about therapy, because y'all definitely, brothers, need to be in some therapy now.
Yeah.
Just saying. Where we can take accountability as the women in your lives for the things that we may be doing that make it difficult for you to be vulnerable and honest. Yeah. Women, we ask for the truth. And baby, when they give us the truth, we can't handle the truth. We got some work to do on us. We still going too, fellas. Too.
Oh, I got it. Yeah.
We want to provide accountability. We want to be the voice of reason, or maybe just the ears that listen, because that is important. Sometimes they just need us to listen, not even provide a solution or, well, what I think you should do. Sometimes we just need to listen.
I 100% agree. I say this in every podcast, or probably with the last one, is because it's so true. Coming from a woman therapist, Black woman, I got to go into therapy. She wasn't my first therapist, right? I got therapy years ago. Excuse me, and this was not a woman of color. And, and she was great, right? She gave me the space to say what I wanted to say, and then it was like, well, what do you think? Well, how do you behave? And I'm thinking, oh wow, that's amazing. I feel decompressed, right? And then years later, I go through traumatic experiences, and then eventually I'm able to get into therapy where I get to pick who I want, because now I'm seeing that these women exist. I say women because that's all I saw at the time.
Right.
So then now going back into therapy, I'm like, oh, now I get to talk about what he did to me. What he did, like, how did I got to, like, I got to share with my girlfriend without hiding some things because I didn't want to be judged. Because had I said one more thing to my girlfriend, she probably would have been like, "Bitch, that was like 2 times already the last week. You didn't learn by now, like."
Because you know how we can do. You know how we can do.
So I didn't have to hide how I felt. I got to emote from my femininity, from my feelings, and I got to be coddled and taught in a lot of ways. But it wasn't until I switched over this year from a woman minority therapist to a Black man therapist. Oh, honey, I got to be talked to so nicely. I show up like, okay, well, guess what I did today?
Y'all got to go back and listen to episode 1 for Nickeya's story about her dating her Black male therapist, okay? Go back and check that out. But go ahead, Fred. Sorry.
God is his gift. Gift is his God. I'm just like, I love that man. Because, like, now I get to continue to say, guess what I learned today? Or guess what I saw a woman do to a man today? So even my content is changing because now I get to hear the other side of things. And it's made me so sensitive and very, very hypersensitive to conversations and environments that I'm in. So being able to now be so in tune to myself, learning more, but also being
Mm-hmm.
more mindful that I need to listen to the other side, which are men more, specifically Black
Mm-hmm.
men,
Mm-hmm.
because that's my genre, my judge. Um, I, I can honestly say that I am hoping to the
Mm-hmm.
highest degree that men land here and they
Mm-hmm.
see this and know that when
Yes.
they hear what we're saying,
Yes.
it's coming from authentic spaces where
Yes.
vulnerability lies, because so does accountability.
Right.
Boom,
Yes.
go.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Otherwise,
Vulnerability and accountability. No, that is good. And I feel like as women, we need to learn how to take accountability for the things we do say or impress upon the men in our lives. You know what I mean? I mean, men, period, have a heavy cross to bear as providers, protectors, and all that. But then when you start drilling down to our Black men and how they have a target on their back from the minute they're born, you know, this world, this society is not their friend. You know what I mean? They have to constantly look over their shoulders for multiple dangers, you know, seen and unseen. And so I can only imagine how it may feel like the prey in the world. Not that they're weak or victims, but to feel like the prey because it's hunting season on our Black men, you know, on our men. And so to be able to have a space that you can go to that gives you the comfortability to be vulnerable, to cry. Listen, real men cry, okay? And I'm not talking about I stubbed my toe. I'm talking about when you really are just hurt, frustrated, upset, angry. Like those are emotions. You know, I'm guilty of when my son was little and he would fall and I would tell him, don't cry. Little boys don't cry. And that is such a misconception and such a
yeah.
lie, you know. Go back again, episode 1, the lies we tell ourselves. That is such a lie to tell these little boys that when their feelings are hurt or they're upset or they're, you know, feeling any type of way, don't cry. We
Mm-hmm.
are conditioning them. So then we as women get upset when we have grown men who are so hard and stoic and don't want to share their feelings. Well, mama and them told me back in the day, little boys don't
Yeah.
cry.
Little boys don't cry. Which means, how does he emote? That's the question. Girl, I'm telling you, therapy have kicked in. Go ahead, thank God for therapy.
No,
How does
yes.
he emote?
Yes.
If he's not going to cry, which women, we generally cry, we have tear ducts, and we emote. How does your man emote if he don't cry?
Yeah. Angry, hitting stuff, cussing, fussing, throwing temper tantrums as a little boy. Then they grow up and then you looking at them sideways when they going upside your head. Now we do not
Cheating with other
condone
women?
violence,
Yes.
okay? Now
Period.
we do not condone violence or anything like that. I'm answering her question. So don't think I said go upside somebody's head. That's not. But that
No.
is how they end up emoting. You know,
Yeah.
cursing you out, cheating, going and being with multiple women because they're not happy or they're still empty. Listen, we can go on and on, okay?
Yes.
And it's a
How
lot
does
of
he emote?
broken men walking around, walking dead on the inside, broken on the inside, but fine as I'll get out on the outside.
Yes. I get so, I'm learning, again, thank God for therapy and my Black man therapist, because I am so in tune with my femininity that I now can speak on behalf of my experience as a woman
Mm-hmm.
with a Black man, as an adult woman,
Mm-hmm.
and being somebody's daughter.
Mm-hmm.
That a lot of times these men don't have the spaces to be vulnerable,
Mm-hmm.
even in the most empathetic household with the woman. So,
Mm-hmm.
for example, with my ex, which, I've been so fortunate enough to understand some of my traits through him,
Mm-hmm.
is one of the things he said was, you didn't let me be vulnerable with you at times. He goes, you weren't vulnerable with me at times. He goes, you're sweet as pie. You're the softest
Mm-hmm.
person I know. You're this. But when someone hit a wall with you, you stop doing certain things and it
Mm-hmm.
stops. It's a domino effect.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, even at times where I was probably at fault for that domino effect, when I was trying to help in the domino effect, you still wouldn't allow that. So it was like nowhere to go with it. And had he said that, and he said that in so many words back there, but had he said that now that he's saying it now, I can hear it because I can now identify in those spaces that I have to go revisit to clean up.
Yeah.
But when he was saying it back then, no, what it sounded to me like was lack of accountability, which made me go, did I make you do this? Did I tell you to go do this? I was always the one doing this. I'm the one that you can call on in this. So I'm pointing out the fact, and all while through my feeling.
Now, Facts Over Feelings, episode 2, by the way. Run that back, y'all. Just
run
saying.
it back. So when we talk about accountability, it no longer becomes about him anymore. It becomes about me.
Yes.
So living in that space allows that man to now feel comfortable and soft enough to cry in front of me because I was vulnerable enough to say it was me.
Yeah. And it allows them too, I think, to feel comfortable to keep coming back and sharing those feelings. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because think about us as women. We're only going to tell you so many times how we feel until we completely zone out, tune out. And you know, when a woman leaves a situation or a relationship mentally and emotionally, it's only a matter of time before that physical, she walks on out that door. So, you know, but we don't even think about how they may be telling us something and we're not in a space to receive it. Could be our own trauma, our own baggage, could be just our stubbornness and don't want to hear it. You know, a lot of us women, and I'm being inclusive of the word us, you know what I mean, think that we do no wrong.
Yeah.
Whole time.
It was me.
Yes.
It was me.
Whole time. You know? And it goes.
And I'm so sorry to interject.
Go ahead. Yes.
You said something. It was me. And guess what? When you tell your friends, what would your friends say? So women, this is how you know you need to add to your friend circle, is because when the whole time it was you and you're telling your friends it was me, and the ones that go, girl, it was not you, I would not let you take responsibility for him, he's gonna have to do this, you did this. Liz, she got your back 10 times grand for you and your feelings. However, you need to be friends also with the ones that says it was you,
that will call you out.
Yeah. And that's okay because it was me.
That's okay. Yes. And that's okay. Because that's what you need. Real friends that tell you, you know, that's a whole nother topic. But I do hope that our men listening have some real friends that will tell you when it's you. Because a lot of men too will tell you, no, dog, you shouldn't be cheating on her. No, dog, you need to go home to your wife. No, you need some real friends, brothers too, that will tell you when you're wrong. No, dog, your tone is inappropriate. Let me tell you, tone sets the tone, okay? Talking about if I'm talking to you as a man in a is it emasculating? I think that's what I'm looking for, or a condescending tone. I can't expect you to respect me as a woman when I'm not even respecting you as a man to talk to you with some sense. Now, I'm not saying I have to, my king this, and I need to wash your feet and all that. I mean, you know, I don't even like feet, but you deserve it. I'm sorry. I don't like feet though. That's my phobia. You know, I don't know. But anyway, take care of your feet too, man. Now we talk about mental health and self-care.
We can
love to see a man in the nail shop, baby, sitting in that little chair, and they sit back like this. And listen, I love to see it. So it's okay, man. That does not make you any less manly. I know this is a sidebar, but mental health goes, self-care goes with mental health too. And we need you to be manicured down. You understand? Don't expect us to come out the house, makeup on, hair done, nails done, and you over here got oil and dirt underneath your
Talk about, so you got a man?
Right.
No, but I got a manicurist. Period. But okay, yes.
But self-care is mental health, men. Yes, all the clean men. If you get a pedicure, put it in the chat, men, because I think brothers need to see. Right. Now this ain't OnlyFans. Hold on, now I don't want to see. No. I just told you I don't like feet, and you talking about showing your feet. Now hold on, brother. Don't go too far. My friend is in her spirit. So, just put in the chat that you get a pedicure. But yes, get you some friends, men, that will hold you accountable when you're wrong. You know what I mean? And you're absolutely right. Our circles, our accountability partners play a major part in our healing. Because I don't need you co-signing everything I do and siding with me. I need you to tell me, no, friend. You was wrong.
Yeah.
The devil tried to get up in here because I'm speaking facts. So he trying to get up in my vocal cords. But yes, get you some friends that will keep it real with you, because those are your true friends.
Yes.
Get you some women in your life. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Stop. For shock value, get you some friends that you can call and say, hey, girl, XYZ. And you trust them with that information because you trust them. Like the same tea I just brought you this past week.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes. So, man, you need some of those too that'll keep your secrets, but not the secrets that are damning and harming to others. So be clear on that. Don't keep my secrets and I'm over here hurting this girl. Let's say I'm a man. Don't keep my secrets and I'm over here playing with this girl's heart and her feelings, and you keep it. No. We're not talking about those secrets. We talking about the secrets that you, like you said, that you need a safe space. And that's what we're talking about tonight on the Grow Glow No podcast, is creating safe spaces and soft landings for men in this men's mental health month.
Yes. I'll give an example. The person I was dating, he introduced me to his friend, like family to him. Okay. Right? And then I grew a friendship with him. So our friendship now has been probably as long as my life. Around the same time, 16 years. And before I really knew the extent of the relationship that I participated in, I trusted the person. And when I found out after the fact all the extent of the things that I experienced while being in that type of relationship, it really bothered me. And it bothered me more than the relationship bothered me, because I felt like you knew the whole time and you played in my face. Like, I played in my face. I willfully, sorry girl, I'm dry mouth right now, willingly stay and participated in a relationship that wasn't monogamous. And I don't apologize for it, because at some point it became a comfortable space for me. Right. I made excuses for it. I wasn't living in my best self. I was going through a whole mental depression, so it gave me no pressure to be nobody's nothing. I got to show up when I showed up. And at the same time, I made myself believe that I was in a full relationship, so I was holding him responsible and accountable for a relationship that even I wasn't participating in to its extent. Thank God for pandemic. So because I knew I was playing in my own faith, I got to tell my story to my girlfriends, to my family, to whoever from my perspective, because I ain't gonna tell y'all what I'm experiencing, because I don't need you judging me. Right. But what he did in this particular instance affected me. It hurt me. You didn't have it. Like, did you really have to play like that? So now I'm emotionally invested, and I'm like, oh, really? Let me go tell my friend, bro, guess what he did? Type of thing. Right. So, because I was playing in my faith, and his friend knew about it, who became my friend, I feel like he looked at me like I was less than worthy of having a good value man, when that's all he kept telling me is I deserve a high value man. I deserve better. But now I'm conflicted. Do I? Did I? You know what I'm saying? Because all of that. So I own my part, but the fact that I own my part doesn't remove the fact that he played a part in my experience that left me with trust issues. So I totally agree with you that when you have friends, I'm gonna talk to the men as a friend, friends when you know that this man is in a high value relationship, and you know this because you want it for yourself, because they want it for themselves too, but that's another conversation. Because you want it for yourself. If you've done the best you can in your friendship to really share with your brother, this ain't it, and even he's like, F you, at this point, it's your fault that you stayed and you participated in damaging another person's experience.
Absolutely. Because you can take accountability for your part. That does not absolve the other person. But it does allow you to what? Heal over everything and find out what could I have done differently to prevent this hurting, this pain, this unfortunate situation for myself.
Yes.
And it does definitely start with self. And then, yes, when you're surrounded by people who will also tell you the truth and hold you accountable, it does make it easier to accept the part that you played in your own sadness and your own trauma, so that you can also take an active part in your own healing.
Where's my collection plate? You know I'll be passing it to you.
Listen, you know, I got a Cash App, honey. I take Cash App offering, so, you know.
Drop the Cash App. But yes.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
Never mind. Go ahead. I got excited with something else.
Okay. But yeah, so in back to us, you know, creating these soft landings and these safe spaces, I have briefly mentioned something about tone. And I believe even in just looking back on how I parented my son and the mistakes that I made, because as we all know, they don't come with a manual, honey. You just have to figure it out. And especially if you're trying to parent from a broken place, a broken womb, again, whole nother story. But I look back at, you know, tone and remembering, you know, certain things that my son, now that he's an adult, has shared, and how tone matters. Tone matters if he wants to come. If he's like, Mom, you know, can I talk to you? What do you want? Because I'm annoyed. You know what I mean? Then that's going to automatically shut him down. Whereas, Mom, can I talk to you? Sure. What is it? What do you want to talk about? Or, I'm doing this right now. Can you just give me a few minutes and I'll be right in there? You know, nobody's saying you have to jump because they need you, but just having an inviting tone that's not emasculating or condescending. Because our men get that out in the world enough, where people talk to them crazy and talk down to them. So to now come home to your woman, your mother, your sister, even just your homegirl as a man, you don't want to hear that same harsh, jump down your throat, nagging all the time tone. You know what I mean? And I think it goes without saying that we need to compliment them too. One thing I do remember hearing, men like flowers too. And that doesn't make them soft and weak and girly or whatever other, you know, negative names people want to, but men like flowers too. And even if it's not a bouquet of flowers, you know what I'm saying? Giving them their flowers. Maybe they like lottery tickets. I don't know. Get a bouquet of lottery tickets and fan it out here, baby. Yeah, baby. Go ahead and win us a little coins or something. Right. Or, you know, a gift card. Let me tell you, one thing that's on my heart is about this thing about the Cheesecake Factory, and that's not an appropriate place for a date and all of that stuff. Let me tell you something. Sometimes, ladies, we so busy trying to tell them where to take us, we need to be in the driver's seat taking them on a date.
You know how many times I took my man to the Cheesecake Factory? Girl, we will bust down. Well, I will bust down that mashed potatoes, that corn, and that meatloaf with a Costco.
Tex-Mex, egg rolls, honey, Buffalo Blast.
Buffalo Blast. Like, no. Cheesecake Factory. Knocked out this time.
Take the man out on a date. You know what I mean? Like, let him feel special. I'm not saying make him a passenger princess, but it is a such thing as a passenger prince. You know what I mean? Baby, I'm going to drive tonight.
Baby, I'm going to drive tonight.
I got it. You know, and that go even with our sons, because we're teaching them how they should be treated and how to treat others. And again, that's a mark that I missed. You know what I mean? Not completely, but just looking back and thinking, you know, there were certain things that I missed with Andrew that I could have done differently and done better. But that was back when I was broken as well. And I've had to go
Yeah.
apologize to him. Andrew, I apologize for how I parented you when I was broken. So we need to go to our men. I apologize for how I treated you when I was broken, when I was at my
I was
lowest.
broken. Girl, why did I just have this conversation with my son? He calls me and he's like, "Hey, I
See?
need your advice." And he
Mm-hmm.
goes, "Because I trust you." And he's
Mm-hmm.
maturing. He's
Mm-hmm.
growing into his 20s. 26 now. And
And
he
he's a
tells me this,
father. Happy Father's
and
Day
he's
to
a father.
you.
Yes, happy Father's Day. And he told me the scenario, and I told him, listen, I gave him my best advice, and I said, remember when you were going through, I go, and it brought me back. I said, I have to apologize to you too. I go, I know I say I apologize for certain things, but let me be specific in this specific case. I apologize to you because I didn't know how to communicate at the time. I was frustrated. I'm taking care of this and taking care of that. And I go, I think you can now understand it because you're a parent and you're a very
Mm-hmm.
involved dad that,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes frustration gets the best of you. I go,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm being mindful of that now with Isaiah because, I've had Isaiah over here for a couple of
Mm-hmm.
weeks. And, now I feel like a single parent because it's me and the baby and the dog. And I'm just like, oh my God, now I'm frustrated. And I find myself
Right.
like, what? Okay, put it, now I'm like, oh no. And that's when I go, okay,
Yeah.
thank God for therapy.
Yeah.
Because I told
Yeah.
Josh, hey, give me some time. Give me at least 5 to 7 days heads up
Right.
because I want to get my mind right and I want to make sure I'm in
Yeah.
the right mental space. I don't want to be angry or
Fussing at
short with
him.
him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't want to give him the experience I gave you. And
Mm-hmm.
he appreciated that. And him just saying, you don't
Yeah.
have to apologize. I go,
Yeah.
I do. I go, and if you have to accept my apology and others who's willing to give it to you. You don't have to accept it, but
Mm-hmm.
I want you to because you're
Mm-hmm.
deserving of an apology. It wasn't intentional, but it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't right now that I understand it
Right.
was wrong.
Right.
So,
And you see,
yeah.
grandmas can grow glowing hoe too, okay? And
Period.
that's
What a
a
show
word
out.
for art. Listen, with your whole show, give me a little shimmy shoulder.
Look,
But
okay.
that's a whole word, excuse me, even within our community, because the Black community likes to think that our elders don't need to apologize, baby. And that sends me to the edge of insanity, okay? Because you could be my elder, but let's be clear, we still too adult. You will
Period.
talk to me with some respect. And
Period.
even though I'm not an adult, even when I was an adult, I still had valid feelings. I still had, situations where the adults in my life were wrong and dropped the ball. And I think this is just my opinion. I am not a therapist, nor have I ever claimed to be one. I pay good money to my own, but I think that is a good lesson, is that kids deserve apologies. And what
Yeah.
you just said to your son, and you said, let me be specific in my apology. It's not just a
Yeah.
blanket, oh, I'm sorry. It's letting your son know I am apologizing for these specific things that I can now pinpoint that I may have done or said that have assisted in your brokenness. So
Yes.
now let me assist in your healing.
Yeah.
And I think that is how we create the soft spaces and
Yeah.
the soft landing, excuse me, and the safe spaces for our men to be able to come to us. Because then they realize we can hold them up. Yes, the man is the head of the household, but the woman is the neck, honey. Without the neck, the head just falls off.
Right.
So we need each other. And I think for so long, for sure society has helped in this, but I think for so long we pit men against women. And instead we should be working together because we fighting the same battle. We fighting the same battle.
Listen, I posted like a rendition of, or not a rendition, excuse me. I reposted a video on our timeline on our social media, right?
Okay.
On Instagram.
Grow glowing hoe
Anywho,
on Instagram.
yes, check it out, and TikTok. Of those panels of young people having this conversation about the sexes and value, worth, and all that. I applaud what they're doing because at that level of vibration, I was
Mhm.
there in that room and I can be
Mhm.
like, you're right, sis, you're right, because they're right.
Mhm.
There's nothing wrong with it. I think that
Mhm.
content is so needed and necessary for accountability to start to hit
Mhm.
at somebody.
Mhm.
What I haven't heard or experienced since watching any of the videos, so I can't say that it's not there,
Mhm.
other than when Ayana was on stage, is the healing aspect that is so
Mhm.
spiritual that it's not
Mhm.
emotional anymore.
Mhm.
It doesn't hit like anybody. Most people have that feeling that when you are getting over someone and they text or call and
Mhm.
you see it, you get a
Mhm.
sinking feeling like,
Mhm.
right? When that healing kicks in, you might still get that, but it's in a totally different space.
Yes.
I don't experience it.
Yeah.
So it's a language that's on a vibrational level that
Mhm.
in that room it's missing that you it's no longer about what you deserve, it's about what you did to yourself and why.
Mhm.
And what you did to yourself and why starts off as a hard thing and a bad thing, but it starts to float and it lands as the best thing that you can ever say. It's, girl, let me tell you what I did and why I did that. And guess what I learned that? It's no longer guess what
Mhm.
he did and why he did it.
Yes.
And guess what I
Yes.
did to tell him that
Yes.
it's different.
Yes.
So,
It's different.
it's
Mhm.
different.
It's different. Yeah, it's
Yeah, it's
different.
different.
It's different. Yeah, it's different. We
Yeah,
need to
go.
get back to twerk class. Sorry, man. We had to just
Yeah,
take a hold. But
yeah.
yes, you're absolutely right. You are absolutely right. And I hope and pray that this episode definitely will resonate with our male listener, but as well our women listeners, because I'm hoping that our women go home and take some of this, if you're already at home, into the bedroom, into wherever, into the kitchen, wherever your man is, and really, have this conversation with him. Find out, what is it that you need from me to
Yeah.
feel like I'm a safe space for you? What am I not doing that you need me to do to be a soft landing? What am I doing that you need me to stop doing to
Period.
be a soft landing? What is it that you need? And I don't know, because I don't know every household, but I would venture out to believe that most women are not asking the men in their lives, what do they need from them?
Girl. Okay, so I'm gonna give you guys another tip. You're absolutely right.
Tip, tip,
Um,
tip. Ho tip.
tip. Whole tip. In one of my healing conversations with the person that I was dating, we had a night that was called Uncomfortable Conversations.
Oh,
Let me tell you, honey, when
I
that
love it
happened,
already.
that was some time ago.
Mhm.
Uncomfortable Conversations. And I asked the questions for me that was uncomfortable. Right? It
Mm.
could be anything. It could have been
Mhm.
anything. I just
Mhm.
happened to ask about a woman because that had been my experience with him.
Mhm.
And when he was telling me his experience, my question was, have you ever met someone, even while we were dating, that wasn't me and you thought, dang, she could have been that one. I really wanted
Oh.
her to be that one.
Oh.
Yeah, because I'm still learning about me. I'm like, how did you look at me? What did you think of
Yeah.
me at that time? Because now that I can look back, I can say I wasn't in my best right mind. So
Mhm.
what did you really think of me? Because you kept showing
Mhm.
up sexually, but that I made that something. Was that actually,
Mhm.
did that mean
Yeah.
anything? And did everything else mean nothing? I need to know, right?
Mhm.
So that's uncomfortable for me because it's still about
Mhm.
me, but it's more comfortable than me hearing about another woman that he could have possibly been with. And he was honest and he shared the person's name. And when we first started dating, I remember seeing that name on
Mm-mm.
something. Yeah. And he met her after we actually started
Mm-mm.
dating. Yeah. So I remember the experience, but I don't know the person, the woman.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
he regarded her in a very kind way. She seemed to be a lovely woman, very educated, physical type, downright his. And he spoke very highly of her. Now I'm listening to this and I have to keep telling myself in the head that you call for this
Right.
uncomfortable
Oh, you
conversations like this,
asked
take it
right.
in. Don't. And I'm just like, listen, I'm thinking,
But
and you
that
said
goes
one more
back to,
time,
we
please.
asked, yeah, we asked for the
Yeah,
truth and then don't want it. So that's
yeah.
good that you maintained your composure. Because
Yeah,
I'm
I
over here like,
maintain like,
I got some more healing to do because I don't know if I could do that, friend. So
girl,
kudos
I
to you,
just
first of
smile. I'm
all.
like, oh my God, she sounds nice and da. And um, at the end of it, and we closed out, it was like he still brought me in and in the ways as to why it didn't work out with him for whatever the reasons were. He still made me a part of that experience to some space, right? But whatever. But I say that to say, that's the level of trust most men need. They need to know that they can tell you something that they even can imagine you going ape shit over,
Right.
but you
Right.
respond in a way that is comforting to them. And as hard as it was for me, I'm so glad that we had experienced that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You have to be comfortable with uncomfortable conversations.
Yeah.
And that has to start at home.
Mm.
You know? So that's good. Kudos to you, friend. And hopefully he appreciated, you know, not just the space you provided for to have that conversation, but even your reaction, you know?
Yeah.
Because again, we will ask for some truth, honey, and then the minute they give it to us, we flipping out, crying. I can't believe you. I can't believe you did this to me. I knew you wasn't. Right, right. But we ask.
Yeah.
We ask. We want them to be honest. And that is one thing I will even tell my son, my dude, my dad, anybody. I don't have to like the truth, but I will always respect the truth, you know?
Yeah.
So give me the truth. I don't have to like it. And nine
Right.
times out of 10, I probably won't like it. But I will
And she
always
might flip a
respect.
table. Episode 2.
Episode 2, table flipper, honey. Let me tell you. But still healing. But you know, I'm gonna respect the truth. I would rather you hurt my feelings with the truth than destroy my soul and my spirit with a lie.
Girl.
And so, you know, men, she may flip out, but continue to be truthful. Listen, because what you won't be held accountable for is lying to her. So at least just be honest. And if she still needs to hoe and go heal from hearing the truth, then that's her journey. But brothers,
Yeah.
I implore you to please be truthful at all times.
Yeah. Please.
With yourself, with your friends, with your women, with your children, especially with them daughters, fellas. Be truthful with your daughters because that's a whole nother story.
Girl, that's another one. Just saying.
Just saying. But yes, be truthful with your daughters. Be truthful with yourself, first of all. Because we lie to ourselves so fast. The lies we tell ourselves.
Episode 2.
Episode 1
went off.
No, episode 1 was the lies, and then 2 was facts over feelings.
Facts over feelings.
Okay, we got a lot for y'all. Go check out the
YouTube.
YouTube. Yeah,
We be living
YouTube.
You're so right. You're so right. And I'm gonna flip it because I don't know why the energy is just like, say this, girl. I'm like, okay. Men who are healing over broken, toxic women who've done the very best they can, because there's some amazing men out there that has experienced women that don't know how to leave them and be honest. They bring them through the mud. They act like they're not abusive emotionally, physically, financially, spiritually, sexually. Like, there are women out there that are the walking toxic demon. Like, I've seen it for myself and called some friends or some family, and I ran such the opposite direction that it made me run into a man where I was the one that was entertaining the toxicity because I'm trying to abide by the rule of be kind. You know what I'm saying? That's episode 1. Anyway, I took all that to say that for the men who's healing, we know the experience. Self-care, bro. Like, soft boy summer, okay? Like she said, there's always a princess. There's a prince on the side too. Like, be the king in your streets. Period. Don't like be free of yourself. Like, I say this with having a son, and I can authentically say I'm super proud of my son for being wise enough to see not take him through the mud with seeing countless men running through my house because I was broken. He just saw me I inflicted that on myself, and that's bad enough to show. But it's even worse to not know yourself enough to say, I don't deserve to have everybody up in my house.
Yes.
So I'm so glad that I can see that my son, who has a son and who's a single dad, doesn't have that flow of women coming up around him
Yes.
because he understands
Yes.
that protection. So there are women that exist. So men, you don't have to run out in the street to
Yes.
go replace her. Go continue to heal yourself because you're going to find your best self who's going to ultimately find somebody who needs you, i.e. I'm single. And you hear me
Darling
talking,
Nikki.
so I'm period. Like you healed, but still healing because
Yes.
I got my days. No,
And healing is continuous, so we need to continue to remind you of that. Healing is continuous. So yeah, we are healed and still healing. Okay.
and still healing.
So
And
yes,
branching
and that's a good
twerking.
and that's a good point. We talk so much about Black girl magic, and I love to talk about Black boy joy. Because just seeing, man, I don't know if you guys have seen that the TikTok where the lady just walks up to Black men and just says, "I love your smile. I love your smile, King. King, I love your smile. You're beautiful,
He's too
King."
handsome to be not smiling. Yeah,
I
and
love
these Black
that.
men be like,
Yes, and to see the joy come over their face when you give them a little comment on their little salt and pepper beard, or even their hair. They might be bald now. You tell me you love their hair. Just Black boy
they on the
joy.
phone with their boo sometime, and then put their phone down, just be like, "Thank you."
Yes. So we love to see y'all smile too, and if we need to do anything to make more Black men happy, and let us know. Drop in the chat, fellas. What do you need from women in your life? What do you need from the safe spaces in your life? Let us know. You know what I mean? Because I think all of this is healing. And what another brother drops in the chat or says, another man might not have even thought about it. And you know what? I do need that too. Again, I don't do feet. But if you need me to rub your feet, let me go put my gloves on.
Girl.
My hazmat suit.
I'm a whole Aquarius, honey. Once we get deep in this relationship, I massage, I rub.
I'll massage, but I'm gonna stop at your ankles.
You gonna walk around with ashy toes?
No, I'm gonna give you the lotion to finish your feet and toes. I'm gonna get down to the ankles and then I'm gonna give you that pumice stone. I'm gonna give you that pumice stone so you can do your own cheese grater situation.
Why you sipping wine?
Listen, he's still working on me because I just came with feet, but I know that Also, men, we talk about therapy. Find you a therapist, okay? Your homeboys are not your therapist. I just need to, now they good for some accountability partner. But men, go talk to the lady, okay? They always call her the lady. Go talk to the lady. Go lay on that couch, sit in that chair, log on that Zoom. Get you some third party knowledge, experience, and advice. An outside party who has no skin in the game other than to help you become whole, because it is so needed. And therapy is not for punks. I have men in my life who have never been to a therapist, and I'll be like, ooh, can I pay for a session for you? Because I'm willing to even sponsor a session because you need help.
I told my therapist, as soon as I find, or as soon as the right one lands on the right planet with me, can I bring him so you can give him my clean bill of health, and then I'm gonna leave him in the room with you. And if you say no, then it's over. We ain't doing it.
Tell you, me and mine are in therapy. Okay, I don't play them games because that's a deal breaker for me. Now, he was totally against it at first. I don't need to talk to nobody. That's for girls. All of the myths that men say. Baby, he got up in there and now he tried to take my therapist. I'm like, she my therapist. You need to go find a new one. Wait a minute. You want to be here. But that's how much that he loves it. You know what I'm saying? So I can appreciate that. And that's, man, get you some therapy. Get you some therapy. You need to go all the way back to childhood. Because let me tell you, being 10 years old and having an 18, 19, 20-year-old woman babysitting you and doing something to you, yes, that was molestation. That was not okay. And I don't care how you think that made you a man. Get you some help to heal over that. Okay? That's not okay. Because if your daughter was 10 and 11 and her 19, 20-year-old babysitter that was a boy was touching on her, you wouldn't say she's a woman. No, you be ready to kill.
Period. We don't say that enough. Right. Or maybe you felt like you were and you shared it with your friends who made you feel like you weren't, but you knew deep down it wasn't right and it wasn't how you wanted to experience it. So yes, you were
get you some
therapy.
Too. Yes, get you some therapy. Get you some therapy. You some
therapy.
So
it's our lived experience too.
Yes, yes, and that's what I was going to say. We here are not sharing anything that we have either not experienced, not discussed, not gone through. We're not here to judge. We're not here to look down on or act like we are better than. Grow, glow, and hoe is for everybody who needs to grow, glow, and hoe and heal over everything. And we just want the best for these men out here. We want you guys to live, if it's the second half of your life, if you're watching this and you just graduated high school and you're entering into this new job, wherever you are in your walk, in your journey, we just want you to be whole. We want you to have peace, happiness. We want the women in your lives to be your biggest cheerleaders, even in the uncomfortable conversations.
Girl, I was in my spirit. I come up with great ideas in my spirit. I was like, oh, you know what would be fun? And my spirit was like, don't do it. I was like, uncomfortable conversation. Now I'm in it, but it was the most healing.
Yes.
I feel like
it's helpful.
Okay. You know how they say there's levels to this shit? Like I used to say this, like
Angry Birds. I like the levels.
Right. That was when I was like in an Angry Bird space, right? I never really played the game, but my spiritual level was in an Angry Bird space, right? So then now I'm bossing up, quote unquote, I'm bossing up and I'm becoming a business person. I work and I got a company I'm building and and now I'm in a room full of people who I would not have been in the room with a couple of years ago. Energetically, I didn't belong there. So now when I get in this room, I feel like I'm in another space. And now that I'm mentoring at another level, I can tell these people, or I have told these people in the past, oh, there's levels to this. Like, because I'm identifying, it ain't like a person's better than you. It's just, it feels different. So that applies too in healing. There's levels to this because to be able to sit down and play an honest game of uncomfortable conversations where you don't get to tell me anything because I don't trust you. So that means you can tell me whatever you think I want to hear.
Right.
I'm going to ask you something that's so uncomfortable for me that even you're shocked that I would ask it because it does me no good. It's not about me. And it doesn't make me even more excited to trust you. Right. The fact that I did that and I trust the information because there's no reason for it to be lied to. It's the truth at this point.
Yeah.
How did you feel about somebody else? And I remember that time frame and I got to remember how I felt, what I was, and then I reconciled it because I'm immediately in my feelings now. But I quickly reconciled it with, we've already worked out, Nickeya, that you decided to stay in a relationship that wasn't monogamous. Stop blaming him at that time. That wasn't his fault either. Take accountability. Now listen to what he's saying. So like I'm having dual conversations. I'm listening to him and I'm reconciling it. Like, should I get mad? And every time I was like, nope. So it made it so much more a celebratory space for me. Because while I'm hearing something that would have triggered me, I'm reconciling it quickly enough to say, don't get mad. You asked for this. And I appreciate that time he's in more than I think he truly understands. And I feel like I just unlocked another level of my healing.
Yeah. So being a soft space for him or creating that safe space for him allowed you to heal as well. Everybody wins. Everybody wins.
Everybody win when what Jay didn't say. girl.
Nobody wins when the family feuds.
Period. Okay. Nobody wins when the family.
Yeah. That's that spirit, ain't it? Kick it in. Yeah, so
That was so funny.
hey, thank you. I just think that, for Men's Mental Health Month, ladies, I challenge you to acknowledge the men in your life, acknowledge their pain, their experiences, their feelings, their trauma, and just let them know, hey, I'm here for you. And I can be the soft landing that you need. You know what I mean? I encourage men in this mental health month that you go encourage another brother, another friend of yours, and let them know that you can be a safe space and a soft landing for them. I encourage all parents to go in those babies' rooms, the babies that are old enough, obviously, to comprehend, but go in there and let them know that you're here for them, especially those young boys, because they need it. I love seeing men hug. That's another thing. I just love seeing the camaraderie and a good hug amongst men. And I don't know why, our Caucasian counterparts, they have no problem hugging each other. I've seen father and son kiss on the lips or at least on the cheek. You know what I mean? And it's nothing sexual. But for some reason, Black men, we don't hug or kiss enough. And we don't normalize that type of affection amongst men. You know what I mean? Even little boys, after all, they're like, Mom, don't kiss me in front of my friends. What? So I love seeing just the affection and the physical contact, healthy physical contact amongst men. Because sometimes a strong hug from one of your brother friends might just be what you need. And you don't even know how to articulate that because it hasn't been normalized to say, hey, man, I just need a hug. I have no problem telling my girlfriend, I need a hug. I need a hug. My love language is physical touch. That's how I like to receive it. And I need somebody to hug and touch up on me. You get to rubbing on my scalp, honey. I might ask you to marry me. Okay?
We go together.
And I'm talking about even my homegirls, like, hey, friend, you just rub my scalp, just so you know. Like, we're in a whole
relationship.
We go together. Right? So, but I feel like men need that too. Right. Just don't touch me, inappropriate. But I feel like men need that too. But it's not normalized. You know what I mean? And that's so sad, So I don't know, friend. I hope that we can help the people.
I'm so sure we will. It's such a connection. Hopefully when you're young, you have a maternal figure over you and teaching you love and compassion. And then boys go through that phase of, oh, my girl can't see. I'm a grown man. Right. And till they go through the next phase of now they got a woman, a wife, and mom is not as present because she doesn't have to be there as the protector anymore. The person that's loving and mothering him is now the woman. Whether we believe it or not, a lot of women need to get comfortable with the idea that you also are mothering your counterpart. There's a part of they need that paternal love because that's what they're used to. And they can't go home to their mama because then we crying about y'all talking to your mama.
Right.
Well, what does his mom provide that you don't? That's the question. But I digress. Thank God for the answer. So now they're going through that experience with their willing to be their mother. So they're looking for that maternal figure. And my son he's always going to have somebody because he's a handsome young man. And he doesn't have to have somebody, but I know he will. I'm so comfortable and confident in the belief that when he calls, I know he needs. I don't have to force it out of him.
Right.
So men deserve soft spaces where they can go call their mother if they choose to, or call their wives to be somewhat of a mother in that moment. And we should not be attacking their masculinity because they don't know how to tell you, I need my mama right now.
Right.
Maybe the mama is, passed on deceased. Maybe the mom has never been around. Maybe the mom is incarcerated. We don't know, but he needs his mama, and he's not lacking masculinity because he needs a feminine presence. You, ma'am, are lacking femininity because you're sitting in your masculinity calling this man lack of masculine when you are lacking nothing but femininity. And if women sat in their feminine space without having to step outside for any reason, like you ain't even got to step out that way to be in the boardroom anymore. I've learned I stopped stepping outside of my masculinity years ago in the workplace, in my personal life. I am a feminine presence. And if my feminine presence can't take this place over, then it doesn't deserve to be in the room. And I understand my power. So allow these men to sit in their masculinity while calling you to sit in your femininity. And don't force them to tell you what it is because maybe they don't know. So be the safe space. Period.
Listen,
All right,
that's a no. That's a word, and I don't even know. That's a drop the mic right there, honey. Let me tell you, you done wrapped it all up, put a bow on it, kissed it, and said good night. So with that, I hope we created a soft space for you, my brothers. I hope that you have women in your life that will be these soft landings for you. You can always find one here on Grow, Glow, and Ho podcast. And, we'll be back in person next month. We're so excited for joining us in our new virtual,